Hey, demigoddess. I'm going to apologize for any ranting, raving, or offending I do tonight. It is highly likely somebody is not going to agree with me. And that is fine. I cannot emphasize this enough. This is my opinion. This is how I feel. So, I'm sitting down in bed, watching something on, on my channel, on YouTube, and, as I'm sitting here, I see a trailer come up for a game. And I'm like, watching the trailer, I'm interested. It's got a realistic look to it. Looks pretty good. I'm happy with what I'm seeing, everything looks fine. I continue to watch, and the guy's getting a tattoo. Hey, fine, sunshine. It's no problem. Then the title comes on the screen. I'm instantly deflated. I know that there's nothing good that comes out of this when this title pops up on the stream. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3. Instantly deflated. Good trailer, out the window. Pissed off. Because I'm like, there's not any hope. It's not going to be good. It's just going to be another shitty Call of Duty game that is exactly like every fucking other Call of Duty game. I am so irritated that that a trailer can be ruined by a fucking name. Like, when did we get here that now just a trailer can be ruined just with the name? Because they're not going to do anything different. It's the same fucking game every time. I don't know when the last time they put out a new Call of Duty feature was. Exactly. I remember growing up, and I would go into a video game store, and I would pull out the manual. They don't have these anymore. To the youngins in the audience, there are no video game stores don't put little manuals in that are like thick with a little bit of information about the game anymore. That's gone. And getting excited to play the game. But the act of actually seeing this game, I cannot begin, especially with all the bullshit going on about Baldur's Gate right now, 3, which is fantastic, by the way. If you don't own Baldur's Gate 3, buy Baldur's Gate 3. It is a fantastic RPG. It is chef kiss. But there are all these developers coming out of the woodwork bitching about Baldur's Gate 3. That it shouldn't be the new standard. So when did the standard become, oh, it's okay, let's just put out a shitty game so bad that even a good trailer looks like a dog turd with diamonds in it. Oh no, diamonds is too giving. It looks like dollar store sparklers were put inside of it. I am just... Like, when did we get here, is what I want to know. When did we go from, innovative gameplay of Mario and everything else to this shit show where everything has to have a cash shop, everything has to have a pay this, and I would love to, Meg, but just give me a few minutes to get this out of my system. I am not a good person to talk to right now. I am so tired of fucking cash shops in games, of battle passes. If fucking Mario or Sonic were made today on the Nintendo, you would have to pay money for the Tanuki suit or the rings. They would give you a battle pass to play Mario. Thank God Nintendo owns them. Because they seem to be the only, company that doesn't have their head up their ass. I can't, oh my God. Welcome, non-binary king. I'm sorry if you're coming into this rant and like just confused. I am just aggravated. Like, if Nintendo didn't own Pokemon would have a battle pass and a cash shop to buy different colors for your Pikachu. And that's the standard that these people are defending. They're defending this standard that Baldur's Gate went against, the grain. And it's like, I'm sorry, what? I'm gonna get all of this out now. I saw a thing the other day that said that From Software is sexist for how they wrote Melania in Elden Ring. You know, what is considered like the hardest boss in gaming by a lot of people. What? Well, she's broken and vulnerable. Everyone's broken and vulnerable in this world. She's not exclusive. It's... In Dark Souls universes, there is no happy. Everybody is mutually fucked. Your gender doesn't mean shit in this universe. You could be a dancing pretzel with a cucumber on your head. You're still fucked. Like, and the trailer, watching this awesome trailer, and then just being let down like a comet hitting the fucking ground. That was like the point of no return. Like, that pushed me over the edge. 'Cause it's like, when did we get to this point that gaming trailers could be so monumentally disappointing with just the announce of a title? I mean, Call of Duty used to be good about 20 games ago. Same for Halo, but Microsoft's perfectly fine murdering Halo. I mean, it... And the thing is, the game's always gonna be shit. It's the same fucking game. There's no changes. There's nothing. I think in one of the Call of Duties, they put a battle pass in zombies. Why? This is just like EA's stupid-ass policy that everything needs to be a multiplayer. Everything. So they put a multiplayer in Dead Space 3. Guess what? Worst game of the Dead Space franchise? Number 3. Oh, people don't play single-player games anymore. Dude, one of the most successful franchises of all time was a single-player game. Like, I have had to watch companies and games that I enjoy go to this point of shit show over and over and over. I am so tired of it. And it's consistently bad. It's like there's a contest. We just want to see how bad we can make it. And I'll give you the list. I watched Blizzard. I watched from Wrath of the Lich King. Great game WoW was. It was fun. Everything was nice and new and fresh. The game was great. Cataclysm. Activision's begun to step in. Oh dear, the owners of Call of Duty now own Blizzard. I wonder what's going to happen next. They're going to fuck up everything possible. Blizzard has literally fucked up everything on their card. And this is a fact. Go look on Steam right now. Pull up Overwatch 2. It has the lowest score in Steam history. It is the lowest ranked game in all time on Steam. We went from Blizzard can make good games to Blizzard completely destroyed a good game with Overwatch. Blizzard has slowly choked WoW out of its existence. Half its player base is gone. And God knows they're in the middle of trying to kill Hearthstone and StarCraft. So, and Diablo 4 is a fucking disaster right now. with its battle pass they added to Diablo. It's not even PvP. The game is PvE. It doesn't need a fucking battle pass. I'm frustrated. I am like legitimately just fucking frustrated. Cause I've watched Blizzard completely fucking ruin an entire library of games. I have watched Halo go from being something that you bought an Xbox for to being something that is so fucking trash that nobody enjoys it. Because they've spent... Ever since Bungie left Halo, Halo has been dying. And it's only gotten worse every fucking expansion. Call of Duty used to be good. Call of Duty used to have really good campaigns, riveting story. It was a new slice. It was different. Now, it's all the fucking same. Every Call of Duty is the same. With like one new little whistle added. And we finally, after Elden Ring, we've had 2 games in the last decade that dared to reinvent the wheel. And you guys hate, and all the game developers hate them. Because they don't have the fucking nuts to actually go in and fucking do something different. They make all this money, but we want to be ranked number 1 and take all your money. We don't see you as human beings. You're just walking dollar bills to us. So all these fucking things just go on deaf ears. All of them. And it pisses me off so much that we have gone from Mario, we have gone from Earthbound, we have gone through all these like fucking awesome classic games of the old decades to now. And I just, even with horror games, I'm annoyed. Because now everybody's trying to be Phasmophobia. Everyone's trying to be Demonologist. Everyone's trying to be these games. They don't add anything new. Look at the Dark Anthology series. Instead of, they had Until Dawn. Breaking game. Now, they have an opportunity to change the wheel, do a bit more. They released the Dark Anthology series. $40 for each game. They are literally the same fucking game as Until Dawn. Another studio decides to get in on it with a werewolf plotline. They fucking follow the exact same thing. No one is fucking trying to make a new standard. No one is trying to make gaming better. That was something that was actively happening in the 90s, 2000s, and so on. Now, nobody cares. They don't care about the game being good or the game being well made. So that's why now it's acceptable to have a really good trailer, but you know the game's going to be a pile of dog shit. That is what pisses me off so much as a gamer and a consumer. Because I'll see people go out here and do this stuff, and I've got people messaging me to see what I'm angry about. I'm on a roll right now. My point is, it should never have been like this. Gaming was not meant to be this fucking thing. They're supposed to bring in the best possible outcome. To bring in something new, something fresh. But they don't. And as a consumer, you all, not just me, not just them, not just this person, all of you deserve better than what you're getting. All of you. The fact that you're not getting the quality that you should fucking piss you off. Because this quality would never have been accepted anywhere else, anytime else. Okay. I'm gonna pause because the Rant engine is restarted. Vroom vroom. Demigod, I acknowledge what you're saying is true. it's hard to do something original without making it feel original compared to something else. And I agree. But there's a difference between changing your content or doing something different than providing a good product. You and I would both be hard-pressed to call Diablo 4 a perfect product. Why does a game that is purely PvE need a cash shop or a battle pass? Why is it Overwatch 2 basically fucking went the route of the effing dingo and died? Okay, so, and that's the problem. They're copying. They're not taking notes from and improving things that Fortnite players don't like. They're not making it better. They're not adding anything to the formula. And I understand, it is hard. Yes, I'm aware. I'm well aware. Titanfall was a new take on things, and it was a good game. Unfortunately, Titanfall died because, God forbid, a new concept be released had a favorable window. There is opportunity to do things different and new. Even though a lot has been done in gaming, a lot can still be done with these titles. Call of Duty has probably more reason than any other company to reinvent the wheel, because they have made virtually the same game for years. So if any company needs to fix themselves, Call of Duty's is the one that needs to do it the most. I would like to think Activision Blizzard will fix themselves now that they're bought by Microsoft, but Microsoft single-handedly buried Halo, so I don't know how true that is. Because here's the thing, none of them, save for Baldur's Gate 3, took a chance on something different. None of them. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's not gonna get better. And Demigod, you heard me say it in my rant before. Go look on Steam. Overwatch 2 is the most downvoted game in Steam history. You took what was a popular, budding esports community in Overwatch 1 and fucking destroyed it. That is the most mind-boggling thing to me, is that they are destroying games. And the thing is, Nintendo has shown them it is entirely possible to do something different, to try something new. Mario and Zelda are still going. These are products of our time period. And Nintendo has shown that they are willing to give them time to develop something new, to do better. No. And that's Nintendo's own fault. They're not willing to progress their systems. They progress their games, while the other two progress their systems, but don't progress their games. It's a cycle of stupidity. One company does good with their games, and their companies do their best to give you something good. Do you know what the most tragic thing of this is? There are only two game companies I can think of that actually treat the player. The only game companies that have not, completely decimated their fan bases are only 2 or 3. Arcane Studios, which was one of my favorites that made Dishonored, Prey, and all this, were fucking ruined with Redfall. Redfall is one of the worst games I've ever seen, in a sense that it's so boring and bleh. It really is the quintessential moment of just... And then obviously you have the developers of Dark Souls from Software, and they haven't... Their community's strong, thriving. Hell, they're getting ready to release Armored Core. I'm planning to play that. And you know what? That game's going to be good. Because that studio actually tries to produce games for gamers, not for walking dollar signs like other fucking companies. I mean, look at FIFA, Madden, and anything EA produces or 2K produces now. They don't have any interest in making the game good for the player or trying something different for the player. All they want to do is make the same game they make every year and not change the formula or do anything. They don't look at it at the perspective that the gamer or consumer has. And I agree with you. Disney probably handcuffed SE to the point of fucking no safe word when it comes to Kingdom Hearts. Keep in mind, Disney's in the middle of a fucking fall too. I saw a video the other day that predicted Disney will be gone in 20 years. Time at this rate. They are literally throwing money out the door. Why? Well, they don't know how to bring it in the door for sure. Okay, to be fair though, it's not the parent company bitching about Baldur's Gate 3. It's developers. I will let them have that moment, but let's be realistic. At some point, someone in the developer's hierarchy does have the ability to speak up, and their job is not always on the line. We can point out X, Y, and Z and go, well, in this situation, but the fact of the matter is, they're not trying either. And some of these companies have leadway as they're developing the game. And the tragic truth of that is, they just don't care. And it could be led back to the parent company, in which case we need to be frustrated with the parent company. Because the problem is still the same. No matter where you go in the food chain, the game development is not evolving. It is not being about bringing you the best possible product. And at some point on the food chain, somebody does have to do it. Because eventually the consumers are going to get pissed about it. And at that point, there's no return. Because once you alienate your consumer base, you no longer have the ability to make money. Alright. I would say no. I would say that the gaming media has become more predatory in their stuff. Rather than making a full game and putting out a game, only companies like Firm Software, CD Projekt Red, and a very few others are concerned with putting out a game. Cyberpunk 2077, despite its issues, was a very, very different take. No, that's what I'm talking about. In terms of a fully released product that is not just DLC, that you don't have to buy DLCs like a week later. In terms of that and the gaming quality, Cyberpunk 2077, despite its issues when it was launched, and by the fact they stuck with it and fixed the game, is a quality game. So was The Witcher 3. These are fully released games with fully developed content and quality to them. Whereas if we compare something similar to Witcher 3 with, let's say, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it's not quite the same. The combat's repetitive and gets boring very quickly. the builds don't have any meaningful growth to them either. And to be honest, they took size of the game and didn't really fill the game with things that were always interesting. I think Assassin's Creed Valhalla is good for maybe 40 hours of gameplay before it starts to feel boring and like a grind. And if we want to go in the same they had the same problem when they faced Elden Ring. Elden Ring was an open world game dripping with storytelling, but took a minimalist approach to things, but it was a full game, a full quality game. So was Skyrim. So was Fallout 4. Even though Fallout 4 had the laughable problem of its story being forgettable, the gaming world was full and felt unique and different. So the idea that we, as me, you, and anyone else born from that era, are used to having a completed game isn't completely accurate. We shouldn't be in this situation where their campaign is 2 fucking hours long. They shouldn't be releasing a game like that. That shouldn't be the standard. That's not the standard. People were taught the standard when certain games came out and set the standard. Fallout 3 made a standard of what a Fallout game should be. Fallout New Vegas made a standard of what a Fallout game should be. Skyrim made the standard of what Elder Scrolls could be. The standards are set. You're not breaking the standards. You and I have seen what the standard can be. They refuse to accept the standard. Larian Studios just threw down the motherfucking gauntlet and said, here's the standard of what an RPG can do. Even in our engine. Even like this. This is what an RPG can accomplish. So, no, I don't think you and I have too high of an expectation. I think their expectations are too fucking low. Because Madden, the wrestling games, the baseball games, the golf games, there is possibility for them to do things with these. And it doesn't matter if it starts with the developer or the owner of the fucking company. They need to be put on notice that we as the consumers have expectations. We want to see them met. It's a damn shame when the best football game I've played was Blitz. And I can't even say I have fun playing football games today. Or basketball games. Because now they have like all these microtransactions and everything else. And arguably the game, which is supposed to be the content, has the least amount of development. So, thank you for looking out for me there. A standard has been set in gaming. For Zelda, for Mario, for all of them, there are standards that they have to meet. And Call of Duty hasn't met the standard in like the last 7 games. Battlefield? You saw what happened to them, didn't you? With the newest Battlefield? How the fans felt about them going away from what the standard of Battlefield was? So no, I don't think we are anywhere at a point where gaming should be allowed to do shit like that.